Hey everybody!
Welcome to the podcast with no name. This episode we're talking about why the colony of Maryland is so dang great.
This is our first episode.
But it's an episode. Therefore this episode. Because
it
is this episode.
It's
an episode.
I
it's
guess.
Episode 1. But
Okay.
It's an episode. Okay.
Let's
get on with it.
We are faced with the dilemma of trying to convince people to move here.
That is true. We are.
Now,
very much.
Government is actually very important for this.
It is. It is.
Now, just so the viewers know,
Yeah, the viewers.
was Maryland, our colony, a charter, royal, or proprietary colony?
Our colony of Maryland, which you should definitely move there, was actually a proprietary colony. All land belonged to the ruler, the proprietor, and they chose how to divide it, who to give it to, how to divvy it up, and all that kind of stuff. And that's basically the gist of a proprietary colony, which Maryland is.
And by they, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about my man, my homeboy from high school, George Calvert. That's right. He's the proprietor. He gets to choose how everything is divvied up and all that kind of stuff. So, speaking of government, how did the government work in Maryland?
Well, as you said, Maryland was a proprietary colony, which with the proprietor George Calvert. I sound like a hunter. With the proprietor George Calvert, he got to decide where everything went, what happened with everything.
Okay, cool. So, since obviously the viewers here want to know, how in Maryland, if you move there, which you should, by the way, it's a great colony, how do you make a living in Maryland?
Well, money, obviously, is very important. And the way you make fat stacks... We'll never say that again.
It's a good idea.
The way you make money is probably agriculture, specifically tobacco.
Yes. It's a good thing, yeah.
Tobacco's not... What products were made in Maryland?
Alright, y'all ready for this? Because Maryland is so great that we make, like, a lot of products, okay? So, we make tobacco, beaver pelts, lumber, small axes, hatchets, hoes, sheets of copper, knives, bone or horn combs, glass beads, jaw harps, hawk's belts, scissors, linen shirts, wool blankets, iron fish hooks, and beans, okay? We make beans.
No, guys, you just gotta say beans.
Beans! Okay, so, speaking of the resources, I did. Speaking of the resources, what kind of natural resources does our colony have?
The main natural resources of our colony actually were tobacco, which we've already gone over,
Okay.
corn, and beans.
Oh, that's amazing. Corn and beans. Tobacco, not so good. You should not smoke tobacco. It's bad for
This
you.
is one of the truth ads.
Yes. This is actually a truth ad. Don't smoke or drool.
Bad. So, now obviously, there's a lot of materials that you can get and manufacture in Maryland. You had a long list of manufactured goods that you can distribute.
Yes.
Now, how did they get them? Were they were they reliant on slaves or indentured servants?
Actually, they were not reliant on slaves, which good on us. We live in Maryland. Come to Maryland, move in. Come on. They were actually reliant on more indentured servants, which was more like a lesser form of slavery, I guess you could say. But there were no slaves in Maryland. Andrew, sketch a map of your colony.
I'd rather not.
All right.
Actually, I'm going to do that right now in class.
Indeed.
See how that works? That's crazy.
What is the general location of your colony?
Now,
Of our colony. Where's
pretty-
Maryland?
Maryland is roughly in the center of the 13 colonies, and isn't it like really close to the capital?
It is actually.
Wait, do we have a capital yet?
Guess what?
I don't think we have a
Now,
capital
I
yet.
don't know if we have this yet, but we will in the future. I know a guy, he has a time machine, I've seen the future. Our capital, Washington, D.C., is going to be in Maryland.
Dude,
that's right. Where the freaking president
that's awesome.
lives. Where the president lives. And other government people.
Yeah.
That's going to be in
Or
Maryland.
the president.
Yeah, move to Maryland. Come on. We're cheap.
Alright, well, but other than that, there's a lot of water. Actually, the entire eastern side of Maryland is blocked off by the Chesapeake Bay.
That's fun.
Not necessarily blocked off, but there's like one little sliver that you can walk there.
Yeah, there's a lot of mountains, plains, rivers, plateaus.
Yeah,
That's the word. And the water was very important in our colony because it made the soil very rich for farming, which means tobacco, corn,
don't smoke,
grains, beans, and anything else you really want to grow. You have rich, nice, rich soil to grow it.
That is very important.
Indeed.
Now, speaking of the difficulties.
Where are we speaking of
Alright, well, speaking of the Chesapeake... I'm trying to talk here.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, shut up.
Speaking of the Chesapeake Bay
Mhm.
and the very little sliver of land that you can walk, how was the maneuverability in Maryland?
It was. I mean,
It was a no.
it's pretty. Yeah, it was pretty much a no. So there's a lot of mountains in Maryland, and half the colony is cut in half by the Chesapeake Bay. But move there. It's
You
a
should
great
still move
choice.
there, yeah.
Yeah. Listen to him. He knows his stuff.
Move there.
And me. I know my stuff. Move there. Move to
He
Maryland.
probably knows his stuff better than I know my stuff.
We're really cool people, actually.
You want to be our friends.
Okay. Traveling was made fairly difficult because of, the Chesapeake Bay and all the mountains and plains and plateaus and rivers. So, yeah, you should move to Maryland.
You
know what?
totally
You... you, right there, you watching, I'm looking at you. Move to Maryland. Darn it.
Yes. Dog.
Oh, dog. Thanks for watching. This has been
The Unnamed.
episode 1 of the Unnamed Podcast. Move to Maryland,
Yes.
please.
We need
We're
friends.
very desperate. We both don't have any friends.
I have a dog.
He's a dog. That's my dog, actually.
Yeah, this is my dog.
Thanks for watching! This has been... I already said that. Let's end it now. This has been episode 1 of the Unnamed Podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
No, pass me that. I'm gonna play a song.
He's gonna play a song.